Is everybody afraid of love? Love!
I love you.
Fuck off.
Ah yes, love and romance, the one thing that many people in this life tend to search for. So, let me introduce you to two anime that have come out recently that are perfect for those adults looking for romance. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, spoiler warning for the anime I'm going to be talking about. Workplace romance can be such a hassle, having coworkers butt in on your personal life, asking so many personal questions, and being a topic of the water cooler talks, as your coworkers look up your Instagram in order to meddle in your love life. Well, worry no more. Let me introduce you to Keeping It a Secret, so people who have nothing better to do with their lives can mind their own damn business. And the series that takes this idea to heart is Can You Keep a Secret? I Have a Crush at Work, which follows our main couple of Yui and Tadashi as they navigate their dual lives and dynamics, with them hating each other at work and holding each other at home. This series was so wholesome, with it being really satisfying to see a relationship that had so much honesty, communication, and surprisingly, realism, as the series takes place over the span of a year, with the couple's dates being spread out over weeks, showcasing the real issue of work and personal projects affecting the amount of time they can spend with one another. The series had most of my attention until about episode 7-ish. Then it started to fizzle out, as, thankfully, they're a healthy couple, and healthy and wholesome can only be entertaining for so long. But that's not to say that Can You Keep a Secret is not entertaining. It's a fun anime to just pop on when you want to cozy up in a blanket and have that warm, fuzzy feeling. That is, unless you're single, because then once the warm, fuzzy feelings are gone, you remember the loneliness, and then you decide to get into your car and then maybe go kiss a tree at 120 miles per hour. But anyways, the thing is, mature romance doesn't have the naivety that comes with youth. Because when Yui's feeling unsure about why Tadashi is lying, she doesn't lash out and give him the cold shoulder. She instead tries to understand why he is lying and to see if he comes clean. And when he doesn't, she then brings it up, rather than letting her emotions take full control, and instead allows them to just steer her to take that action, with Tadashi revealing he has been trying to keep the rings that he bought for them a secret. It's this sense of maturity and communication that really makes their connection special. And it's a lot different than some popular ones. Like, for example, that's why Romeo and Juliet is a lot more memorable, with their crazy, stupid love letting their emotions take hold of them. And to be fair, I think the whole ending could have been avoided with just one extra brain cell. If I'm wrong, I don't really care. I haven't read the damn thing since high school, I think it was. And the anime adaptation is just way different. Instead of focusing on the entertainment aspect, as most anime romances do, the best way to describe Can You Keep a Secret is that it more plays into the emotions of that warm, melting optimism you get when hearing an elderly couple reminisce on their lifelong romance, and how they still have that smitten look in their eyes when talking about one another, which will still be there long after one of them departs. And I think the series realizes that Yui and Tadashi's relationship can only keep the audience entertained for so long. So, at episode 8, we have some side characters also form an offense romance, with it as well being wholesome. But what I really like about the show is that Shizuno has been in a workplace romance before, but it was a stark opposite to Yui and Tadashi's relationship. Shizuno and her ex started out with a wonderful love for one another, with him supplying her with warmth and comfort. But it was only a one-sided affair, as he suddenly broke up with her, stating that seeing her excel didn't cause him joy, like how Tadashi does for Yui, but instead feelings of envy and insecurity, as he himself saw her ambition and success as shackles that drew heavy on him, deciding to run away from her instead of talking it through and communicating with her so that they could try to grow past it. And I really appreciate the series highlighting this reality of dating, as sometimes you can feel that someone is the right one for you, but sadly, you weren't the right one for them, and the scars those kind of experiences leave. With it causing so much hesitation from Shizuno when this guy, I genuinely don't remember his name, makes romantic advances. And it's a nice thing to be displayed, as in high school romances, those characters, for the most part, this experience is their first love and/or relationship, and are wide-eyed, bushy-tailed while wearing rose-tinted glasses, probably never experiencing heartbreak. But as an adult, you've gone through those things, and as painful as it was, it probably helped shape the person you are today, and the person you wish to become. With Shizuno ending up dating this guy by the series end, and Yui and Tateshi revealing their relationship to their work friends. Being single does have its ups and downs, but you never have to worry about being punished for it, right? Well, for our pair of introverts who prefer to keep to themselves, their workplace is about to punish one of their workers who hasn't found love, with their reward being a one-way trip to Alaska to run the company's new location. Yay! At the announcement of this news, one of our main characters, Ohara, steps up to say even though he is single, he can't leave due to his cat, which as a fellow feline owner is respectable. And our other main lead, Honjoji, simply doesn't want to move as she finds it to be a hassle, which, again, understandable. With the days ticking down, the two of them unexpectedly cross paths. Ohara states he's going to quit, but Honjoji instead proposes a new idea, with it being them lying to their co-workers saying that they're about to be wed in a year's time in order to avoid being sent to the snowy hell of Alaska. Ohara agrees, and they tell their boss of the engagement, which prompts her and their other peers to throw a party to celebrate the announcement. After an evening of keeping appearances, the pair think it's safe to assume that their plan will go off without a hitch. That is until Ohara receives a call from a mysterious caller, who drops the bombshell of knowing that the engagement is fake and will bring the secret to light. 365 Days to the Wedding, I think, is the perfect meld of high school romance and mature love, with these two being adults experiencing young love, being filled with butterflies when talking with one another, and falling in love with everything the other does. The thing I like about 365 is that, unlike Can You Keep a Secret, which focused mainly on Yui and Tadeshi's relationship, it doesn't do what its name or so far established plot points suggest. It instead is a story of these two coming across all these different forms of love and learning from them, with the experiences forming and shaping what love is to them. The show gives us a wide variety of archetypes to view and connect with. The positive relationship with Ohara's parents and grandparents and the boss's marriage, but what I respect from the series is them showing the other side of dating and marriage that isn't sunshine, rainbows, and cloud nine. From seeing the emotional distraught their coworker goes through when his wife files for divorce and the downward spiral it leads him down, and another coworker wanting to be in a relationship with him going on apps and feeling hopeless until he matches with a girl he knows, and the two of them have an amazing time, causing him to want to pursue a relationship with her and make his feelings known. But when he tells her, he's met with the fact that she's a single mother, with her ultimately choosing to not pursue anything further, just absolutely breaking his heart. The brutal reality of relationships are such a great thing that I enjoy seeing showcased in the show, especially in Honjoji's case, as we see she comes from a broken home, and her thoughts about what love is. I find her struggle to accept the fact that someone could genuinely be interested in her to be so compelling, having this survival instinct from childhood of switching off her emotions from fear of being let down, with the decision leading to her to spend most of her childhood alone and daydreaming, and with that continuing into her adolescent years, denying boys' romantic advances because she thinks that no one could possibly love her for who she is. To then seeing her falling in love with Ohara and having the inner conflict of accepting his love or rejecting it after the two kiss. And I will admit, seeing how Honjoji reacted was actually pretty damn funny. Ohara and Honjoji were such a fun dynamic couple to watch and follow in their journey, From the trip to Ohara's hometown, to Honjoji drunkenly confessing to Ohara, and Honjoji attempting to express and embrace her emotions. And in the midst of that, we see poor Ohara on the receiving end of trying to navigate the labyrinth of Honjoji's mind and the mental spiral it causes him. With the two of them learning by the series' end what love looks like for them as a couple, and the love they have developed for others. And I'm recording this last bit at midnight before uploading this, but so basically here's the ending. Honjoji and Ohara, they come clean to their boss says, oh, don't worry about it, I'm gonna go in everybody's place, so there's nothing to worry about. They call off their marriage, but then they realize that they love each other, say don't call off their marriage, and then they live happily ever after. Gosh, this video took so much longer than I expected, but thank you for waiting around, and if it's mid, I apologize. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for boarding this edition of the Messy Express. I've been your conductor, Brandon. We've arrived at our final destination. Please don't forget your belongings as you disembark, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe so you can stay up to date on the next time this train leaves the station. And I hope you enjoy. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to bed.